Just squad wise, first of all, if you could, Darryl, I think Kai Rodwell's back in the 21. Has he got a chance of playing on Saturday?
Yeah, he's got through this week okay. So yeah, his chance of playing. Been good to have him back. It's been a fair while since we've seen him. So I think Castleford at home when he got injured. And we've been pretty light at times. So yeah, it's good to see getting back out there, see how he goes, and I think he's pretty much looking forward to it.
What do you get when he's on the field?
Well, look, I mean, we haven't had him an awful lot this year, which that's been tough for him and for us. But he's a physical front rower. He's got real good goal forward. He's pretty aggressive defensively, and all the things that you really want in a front rower. So, he's still growing and maturing. Kai, he had an awesome year for us last year. I don't expect him to be blowing the game out of the water tomorrow, but just getting him back out there will be awesome for us.
His lungs are going to be burning, aren't they? After is
Yeah,
it 16 games? I think he's
yeah, it's a long
missed.
time, mate. It's a long time. So it happens, doesn't it? Injuries in this sport in particular can keep you out for a long time. So, well, it is what it is. He's hopefully he can get back and have a really good end to the season and then start building towards what he does moving forward.
What about other potential changes?
Uh, yeah, there's potentially a couple. I think obviously we worked great last week, so um, you know we potentially change a couple of positions. I won't give too much away. I'll wait till tomorrow, but I think we need to be better than we were last week, and there's a couple of positions there that would be up for grabs based on how we went last week in particular.
It was a missed opportunity, wasn't it? How have you addressed that during the week leading into Saturday?
Yeah, well, it's way off, wasn't it? So, it's, I haven't swept anything under the carpet. I'd put it that way. I think we've been pretty honest and forthright, and yeah, it wasn't great. Look, it is what it is. I think you look last night. You look at Catalan coming and beating Leeds. There are teams there because in rugby league, when you think that there's nothing to play for, well, there kind of isn't. There always is. So I don't think it's sort of I don't think it carries any water in rugby league, not having anything to play for. We saw last week Castleford. Pride tends to be high up on the agenda of any rugby league players thinking. So saw that last week, saw it last night. We'll continue to see it, I think, over the next couple of weeks. And for us, just get back on track. Just put that behind us, and focus on what we need to do in this game because we can't play that one again. That's gone.
It's your last home game, isn't it? That's one thing for sure. What can you say about the home support in 2025? I was doing some reckoning. I think the average home attendance this year is north of 7,500. I think it's 2,000 up on last year. What does that do for the team and the group?
Well, I think walking out to play here is pretty special to be honest. I think there's a great atmosphere. There's always close to sort of full house, and pretty much most of the games have been like that. I think this one's getting very close to a sellout. I think it's the fourth sellout we've had this year, so that's awesome for the club. No, Matt's always talking about increasing the capacity, and the more that we get full houses, then the more that becomes justifiable. And the atmosphere has been awesome. Walking out to the fireworks has been great. I think the club's been consistent the way that they've done that. It looks great walking out to play here. And same again. Yeah, I think the support's been phenomenal. Uh, they really got behind the boys all year. So it's been pleasing to see how good the support's been at home and away. But I think at home it's created a bit of a buzz around us playing here, and I think players get excited to get out in front of the fans and I've said this a few times this year. That you don't have to give them something for them to give you something, which is, if you've got that in fans, then I think that's awesome.
It was a great atmosphere back in round two, wasn't it? That narrow defeat to Hull KR was the crossbar deflection. There was the McAlorum sin bin, the misconversion late on. Just in hindsight, does that feel a little bit like one that got away at the time?
Um, yeah, it was a close game. On it, we had a shot at it right at the end. Max couldn't quite nail the conversion to get us level. Yeah, maybe. I know we've had so many close games that we've lost throughout the year that they whether it's that one or a couple of others. I reckon we only need another one. Then we're probably already in the six. But the fact remains we're not, and there's been lots of lessons across the way. That game was pretty tight. They got after us early, and we got pegged back. And they've been a team that's dominated territory and possession all the way through the year. Even I was watching them play against St Helens a couple of weeks back, and a team like St Helens who normally do that, they were getting dominated from a territory perspective, and that's the team that OKR have developed and grown, and it's tough getting out of your own end, and that happened in that game. But we found a way, and we did some quality things in that game, and we've continued to do that all year. We haven't been perfect, but we've been a challenge for teams, and we still here fighting with a great opportunity to get into the six, and um, still in our hands. We've just got to play well in these last two games and give ourselves a chance.
Obviously, Hull are playing at the same time on Saturday. Someone's going to ask you this question. Will you have a sneaky look at what's happening in that game during yours?
Oh, I don't. Maybe, but I don't think so. I'll just leave it. There's not much I can do about that. Just focus on our game and what we're doing. I think that's the most important thing. Obviously, what they do is gonna be important, but less important if we win both our games. It becomes irrelevant then, and that's what we've got to focus on.
Just lastly for me, the pressure's on throughout the season, isn't it? But more so now with what's up for grabs potentially for you guys. Do you feel like that group? It's a new group, isn't it? It's a ever evolving group this year. But do you feel it's mentally tough enough to take the pressure at the moment?
Yeah, I think so. And we've got to show that. I think this is it's a big game tomorrow. I think the pressure's probably on more on OKR than it is on us. I think for us is just turn up and be our best and see where that takes us. OKR have been phenomenal this year. They won the Challenge Cup. They're pretty close to league leaders. They'll everybody will be saying they're in a fair shot at getting to a grand final. And if they're there, then they'll have a fair crack at winning it because they've been the best team this year consistently. So, but for us, just handle what's thrown at us, be our best. If we're at our best, then I reckon we always walk off a field feeling proud of ourselves, and where that takes us, we'll see. But I think the key is for our boys is just go and be your best. When we have been at that level, then I think we've been pretty good this year.
Yeah, you're obviously playing at the same time tomorrow, but next week you're playing 24 hours later. Do you prefer it this way around, being simultaneous?
I don't think it matters. One team's going to win. Both teams could win. I don't think it matters. We've just got to look after ourselves and play our game, not worry about too much else. We can't do anything about it. So, I mean, I'd say, if you're looking at it, you'd say, well, you know what you've got to do if you play 24 hours later. So the benefit there, but that don't come till next week. So just focus on what we've got to do this week. I think that's key.
And everyone's looking at the permutations and stuff. I guess as a coach, you've just got to put that to one side and just focus on what you've got to do. Because as you've said, anything can happen, as we saw last night and last week.
Yeah, just win two games. If you win two games, there's only one thing can happen. That's it. I think just focus on that. Don't worry about anything else. I thought Catalan were excellent last night. They really got after Leeds, and that's they're looking in a good place. I think we're in a good place. We just got to play well and be our best. That's it. That's all we got. Two games left. You're right at the end of a season where everybody gets excited, and it's the best time to play rugby league at this time of year. We feel like we've prepared well this week. We know the challenge ahead of us. We've played them twice this year already, so we know what they're about, and how good they are. So yeah, just be our best. That's all we can control.
And as you've touched on in previous weeks, you want to go into the playoffs with momentum, don't you? And that probably means winning both games.
Yeah, I don't think there's too much for limping into it, you know. So for us, this is a key game. We know we need to be outstanding in this game. I think, and I think you know, from everything I've seen from the boys this week, then we'll be getting after this. Should be a great game.
And in terms of the magnitude of the night as well, obviously you had a championship grand final, didn't you, last year? Is this right up there in terms of importance and what a spectacle it could be in front of your own fans?
Yeah, that was a sellout. This will be a sellout. You know, it's a great atmosphere. There's you know, the fireworks and all that. You know, the players walking out to a spectacle. I know that OKR will be well supported. You know, it's a big game for them. It's a big game for us. So should be a great night. And you know, that's what it's all about, isn't it? You know, fans want to come into this kind of atmosphere and create an atmosphere for the players. And it's always great when the opposition have got a good following. It creates a fair bit of banter between the two sets of fans. So it should be an awesome atmosphere. And they're you know, when I remember playing this a fair while back, but you know, you wanted to be playing in atmospheres that made you the hairs on the back of your neck stand up. And I think this is one of those.
After the game against Rovers last time, you said it wasn't a fair reflection of where your squad's at. And you're already gearing up for the fixture. We're here now, stakes are big for both teams. I mean, how excited, motivated are you now to get at them now and hopefully cause an upset?
Yeah, well, I mean, we were down on troops at that point, and we were 10-all at half time, and the second half the game sort of blew out a little bit. And yeah, I just thought we were really good. I think we've been good against OKR for a game and a half of the two games we've played against them. So, look, I think they'll be coming wanting to be right at the best, and for us, yeah, excited to get into this game. I think it's a great challenge. The thing about team sport at the top level is the challenge that it creates, and playing against the best teams is the biggest challenge. So yeah, it's exciting. I think the players are looking forward to it, ready to go.
Did it give any motivation the fact you could delay them winning more silverware? Because also they can win the League of the Shield if they do beat you. So does that motivate you? Obviously, you've got your own things in mind of getting a playoff spot, but does that add anything to it?
Not really, just us, just us. You know, just be focused on what we do. I don't think you know they look. You know, if they lost the last two games, I think they'd win the league leaders. You know, the points difference is massive, but I don't think that reflects on us. Is just play our game, be us, focus on what we have to do. That's the only important thing to us at the moment.